Hello, welcome to Cindy's Library. Today we are doing a special Star Wars episode since I've actually read some Star Wars recently. So let's get to it. And yes, I'm loving my Star Wars earrings today. The first one is The Princess and the Scoundrel by Beth Revis. So, what can we say about this one? Well, it is the immediate aftermath of the destruction of the second Death Star by Endor. And in the euphoria of the moment, Han proposes and Leia accepts, which is wonderful. But real life gets complicated really fast. So they do have a bit of an unusual but perfectly lovely wedding put together primarily by Mon Mothma. Uh, Lots of Ewok guests, and on one level perhaps this was better. Otherwise, because of their position, and especially because of Leia's position, could quickly have turned into a huge circus. So there's that. Most important thing was the people they cared about the most. Well, most of them were there. Some nice touches to Leia, Princess of Alderaan. But, like I said, things get complicated fairly quickly. Leia is the type of person who finds it hard not to work. So they are assigned to go on the Halcyon, which during the Empire was requisitioned for Imperial use, but previously to that was a luxury liner. And so, great PR moment. Some of the galaxy's richest and most famous will be there. But of course, nothing is that simple. One interesting point about this book is we get lots of psychological things, especially from Leia's perspective. I mean, she just learned that Luke is her brother, and she's okay with that part, but that means Darth Vader is her father, and she's very not okay with that. So she has a lot to process as far as that. The Imperials are on the defensive, but they're hardly beat yet. And in the midst of all of this, Han and Leia have to start figuring out how to be a real couple. After all, it hasn't been that long since Han's been released from Carbonite, and he missed a lot, and he's dealing with that too. So, very, very fun. But not bring that up without also bringing up The Courtship of Princess Leia by Dave Wolverton. So this one starts probably a year or two after Return of the Jedi. Leia's in the middle of politics, helping to piece together the New Republic. Han isn't entirely happy with how little they've been seeing of each other, especially when there's a cluster of systems who might join the new republic, but it might take a marriage between the Queen Mother's son and Princess Leia to pull it off. To say it simply, at the beginning of this, Han is not happy. Also, at the beginning, Han happens to play Sabak again and ends up winning a world of his own, an actual planet. So he decides best way to deal with the situation, since he wants to see the planet and spend time with Leia, is to kind of kidnap Leia and go check out this planet. Yeah, things do not go as planned. No one told him that this planet was inhabited by Force witches, or that it was, well, I guess he kind of knew it was Imperial territory, but he didn't know it was that dangerous of Imperial territory. So, as opposed to starting with the wedding, this one basically ends with the wedding. And I can't tell you anything else about it without spoilers, but this one is absolutely hilarious. Typical Han getting himself over his head. Oh. I also read Padawan by Kiersten White. What can I say? Obi-Wan is a favorite with me, and teenage Obi-Wan is just so adorable and precious. So, this says Obi-Wan is about 16 or so. It's probably been several months since he has been officially chosen by Qui-Gon Jinn as his Padawan. And that part's great. What's not so great is that Obi-Wan is getting rather frustrated. Qui-Gon really hasn't taken Obi-Wan on any missions yet, when all of his year mates, I guess you could call them, they are already off and doing things with their Jedi Masters and talking about it in the cafeteria whenever they are back on Coruscant at the Jedi Temple. Frustration 2. Obi-Wan, he is not connecting with his master. He doesn't understand them. Qui-Gon does not explain a lot. And so Obi-Wan has no idea what to do. Frustration 3. Qui-Gon likes to spend a lot of time meditating with Obi-Wan. And that might not have been so bad previously, but Obi-Wan is getting so anxious he's blocking his connection with the Force. And it's just a downward spiral, and meditation only emphasizes that. But one day, Obi-Wan makes a discovery and around the Jedi Temple, and he does a bit of research in the Jedi archives as well. He sends everything to Qui-Gon, and Qui-Gon says, yeah, that would be a good idea to check it. Show up at the time appointed for them to leave? Nope. And Obi-Wan, after waiting for hours, finally gets fed up and leaves to investigate this thing he found. So he ends up all by himself, distant part of the galaxy, not near the core or anything particularly civilized. in a very unusual world where unusual things are happening, and he meets some unusual kids there. Well, some of them are teenagers, but yeah, kids. And he finds himself having to solve the mystery that originally sent him there and helping these kids all by himself. So, Obi-Wan's first real mission, I guess you could say. I guess I can say he learns a lot about himself and the Force, and you'll need to read it for yourself to find out the rest. But I can assure you, teenage Obi-Wan is entirely adorable. So, those are my Star Wars books, two of which I read. Well, I've read all three, two recently, and one is a recommendation. So, for fans of Star Wars, for fans of Obi-Wan, or fans of Han and Leia, I can definitely recommend these to you. So, that's what I have Star Wars wise. Let me know if you would like more videos like this. I might be induced to do some similar things. There's more Star Wars I could talk about, and I even have a bit of Star Trek I could talk about, so let me know. Really do appreciate you visiting. And so until next time, I hope we all stay safe and healthy, and as always, happy reading!